Hey all, how's it going there? Glad you guys made it back today. I'm glad I made it here too. We're at vlog 21. That's right, vlog 21. Is that offensive? Anyway, I'm so bad. All right, so drinking my coffee, gonna work on the graphic novel today, gonna cough right now. Excuse me. Um, I usually, not always, but I usually post online the musical artist or band I'm focusing on that day while I'm drawing because I have an iPod. Yes, I still use an iPod, which I have a lot of my albums loaded into. So you can just find an artist, hit play all. Like I hit, whatever. I have most of Joni Mitchell's music or, whoever, Miles Davis, whoever. Anyway, another thing I have Spotify. I use that. I also use YouTube, which this is on here. But one of the things I like to do is I have apps for other radio stations, mostly college radio stations and listener supported stations, like KWMR, who I used to be with and I still support and will be back with later in the year. I'll be doing a pre recorded show like my old music show. But a lot of the stations I listen to are college stations, like CalX at Berkeley, KALX at UC Berkeley. In the 80s, man, I lived on KUSF from the University of San Francisco. Oh, man, it's the music you heard. My hometown up in Sacramento, we had all the usual rock stations and soul stations. It was when, music began to get ghettoized. In other words, they would put them off into just country. Just urban contemporary was the code word for black music, and then rock, rock. It wasn't even rock and roll, it was rock. And I got into rock late. I got into it like middle of junior high. I was more of an R&B, jazz, soul, funk guy. That's neither here nor there. So when I got into high school, my best friend Art and I, we would listen to Davis. This is their hat, the University of California, Davis, my son's alma mater. Their station KDVS. Man, it was a godsend. It was that's where I discovered the Ramones and the Sex Pistols and the Residents, and also James White and the Blacks. All this music coming out of New York and England. The Damned were amazing. I was amazed the Buzzcocks weren't bigger for some reason. I still love them. So that was quite an awakening. So I listened to today. That's what I'll be listening to, and it might come up in my next issue of Tortilla, which will be number 6. I've been working on this story off and on and been meaning to publish it for decades. And I'm not kidding you, 2, maybe even 3 decades now of AM radio. Because from 1965 to from 1965 to 1975, AM radio in America was amazing. Yes, you got all your, Ginzerly diamonds and all those commercials endlessly in 1 hour. But within that hour, between the commercials, you would hear everyone that was out then. I mean, I remember on my AM radio station hearing a Marvin Gaye hit, with Tammy Terrell, and then this new band, Led Zeppelin. I remember A Whole Lot of Love. It was their second album was on. Then you would hear, I'm not kidding you, like a Sammy Davis Jr. song. Sometimes those guys would slip in. And then you would hear a one-hit wonder, or those bands like Strawberry Alarm Clock or Chocolate Underpants or whatever those hippie bands were. This goes right into the 70s, and you had no clue what most of these people looked like. 2/3 of the band, you had no idea there was no image to be sold. It was on the tune. If it was a good song, you patted your foot. It was different then. So now everything, now I can just hit Spotify and just hear the music that Jaime wants to hear, just this one style or whatever. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. There you go. That's it in a nutshell. Drinking coffee, wearing my UC Davis hat and a green shirt with nothing on it, unless I spill my coffee. And that's it. And I'm staying in. Already did our provisions run at 6 this morning, and I'm set for the week. This is probably times I go outside, besides taking out the trash, which I'll be doing today. Busy day. And now the rest of you know what it's like to be a cartoonist. Welcome to the shut-in world. All right, everyone. Take care of each other. Wash those hands. If you have to go outside, and I hope you don't, let's keep the curve low. So keep well more than 6 feet apart. Wear a mask. This is serious. I know some of you don't think it is, but it is. And we're getting rid of it. We got to get rid of this. And lastly, though, let's all just be kind to one another. And that's the most important thing, because we all have one another and we need each other. So until then, I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Cheers, everyone.